What is going on? Welcome in. It is Heavy Pour Sports Week 1 recap. The All UK ball team here in full. And then we got 1/3 of the border rivals down there at the bottom, uh, representing Tennessee.
Hey.
Selena, because I care about you more. How are you doing? Start with you first.
Sorry, T. Sorry, T. I'm good. I'm good. It was a good weekend. I'm so happy college football is
History
back.
means nothing.
So
Sorry,
Bleed
go.
blue, baby.
I'm-
Go big blue
don't worry
first.
about me.
You know. Yeah.
Don't worry about me.
All right, T. How you doing? How you doing? Big win, Syracuse. You got a W.
No,
How you
I
feeling?
don't want your little courtesy check-in now. Like I'm over it. Don't care anymore. I don't want it.
Okay,
It's not
so we'll
real.
just go ahead and do this then. Now we're at the All UK Ball Show with Rando and Selena.
oh look who
Yeah,
joined us. Hey T.
I'm glad I did that. It didn't like cut you out. We lost you forever. You never know with this thing.
You never know with my
That'd be
computer.
funny.
But we are, we are live on X and YouTube, and I think TikTok. I think we're fully TikToking right now. I
Are
don't
we
know
live
if
on TikTok too? Hold on, let me check and see. Hold on.
It said we
Let me check.
got approved.
check.
So, but who knows if it's actually working? The yeah, it says
it's
up here
so
in the
loud.
right corner. It says here we're good. But yeah, we had week 1 college football in the books. I mean, that's got to be the best week 1 at least game matchups we had in as long as I can
Ever.
remember, right?
Ever.
Yeah,
It's so
potentially
good.
ever. Now, some of the games didn't go as expected. We'll get to that. But yeah, I guess let's start backwards first. UNC, TCU. My goodness, I tell you what, that game
Yeah?
was. I mean, they have to play a full game, but after that first drive, we were all like, "Hey, Bill Belichick, man, he got it figured out." They went down the field, they scored that thing like real quick, and you're like, "Of course, Billy B got the boys together. Doesn't matter how many players he got in." But they bamboozled us because after that, TCU turned Tar Heels into Tar Tails because they put belt to rear into that team. Good grief. Oh, my goodness. I mean, embarrassed them. Absolutely embarrassed them. And not what I was expecting. I don't think any of us expected TCU to win based off last show. We thought it was going to be a tall task for Bill to come in. But I didn't see a 41-14, 41-17 game.
No, that was wild. And like you said, like I think I even was texting people tweeting about it, like, all right, after first drive, UNC was like, they looked good, right? I was like, okay, he's gonna figure it out. And then I don't know what happened. It's
Football
it's like
happened,
they
and you
forgot,
could tell that
they forgot to play football for a second.
one team had talent, the other team not so much. That's what happened.
Right, but like, how do you put together a drive that good and then look like you've not played football in 7 years? How does it happen? And that how?
But
Like,
it's the scripted drive, right? It's what it was. They've been working on that scripted drive the entire time, and they went to perfection. TCU was sleeping. And also, you got to admit, like, I don't know that I've ever seen – I don't even know what they called their stadium. But, like, that place has never been popping like that. I mean, that place – they showed out. So all that
they had all
adrenaline, I
kinds
think
of
they had –
celebrities there too. Like Michael Jordan
yeah.
was there. Who else was there?
Mia
Hamm was there.
Mia Hamm was
Yeah.
there.
All the
Yeah,
UNC
Roy Williams was
legends
also
were
there because obviously all like everybody was there, and then they were leaving at the end. They were all.
Roy Williams was there. It was funny. He was
Mhm.
sitting at national championship, basketball coach. He's sitting next to Michael Jordan. They didn't even mention his name. You don't even like pop his name up on a screen or nothing, But yeah, it'll be interesting. They got Charlotte this weekend, another home game. So I wonder if the UNC crowd shows up and shows out again.
Can
or
you
if they're
see the
like,
chat, Rando?
I don't know about this. Oh, my bad. I just opened it up.
We have people in the chat. Hi.
Yeah, Braden and JD.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know how they go. Braden, to your point, like I don't know how they go back to that quarterback. I think they got to go with. I think is it Brad Johnson's son that came in after he broke up his leg. But that guy they threw out there to start, I don't know how they go back to him, man. He just did not look super impressive. T, from a football defensive standpoint, What did you see out there? Did you watch a lot of the game? And what was impressive or not so impressive?
Well, we were texting about it, and I just kept watching that corner that TCU was picking on it. Yeah, 29.
2-9, yeah.
So everything about, like, you're already at a disadvantage playing corner, right? Because you're running backwards, you're trying to mirror what the other guys are doing and all that. So some of the key things that you have to do to be successful, your angles have to be sharp. So like when I was playing, our coach would have us do these EDDs, everyday drills, and you would just work your breaks at every single angle, 0 degrees, 45, 90, like 135. It's got to be really sharp. And 29 was rounding all of his breaks. And that's why there was always so much separation between him and the receiver, because it was taking him an extra half second, an extra second to start moving forward or in whatever direction the receiver was going, because he was rounding everything. And so that's when I text you guys that his angles and his footwork were bad. And his footwork, I don't care if you T-step or you bicycle or whatever, do whatever is comfortable for you, but you want to keep it as in the box as you can. And what was happening is his feet were going way too wide. So if you take a really wide step, then your next step covers no distance. So he's rounding his angles, and he was covering no distance when he finally was taking steps, and it just led to him getting beat all day. So yeah, that was the main thing that I was watching almost the whole game. I tend to watch corners a lot, and TCU was smart enough. I guess North Carolina's other corner is a lockdown type dude, because like the one pass they threw at him was he deflected it, or it was a breakup or something. But 29 was getting cooked, and then after a while, like, you got to have a short memory as a corner, but after a while, it starts getting to you, and you could see it in his eyes. He was like, man, I'm over this game. But yeah, he's got to work his footwork and his angles, because that's really what was getting him beat.
Yeah, it was. And you got to, if you go back and look to see where they got some of that 70-man roster from. I mean, like they weren't pulling transfer portal guys like Ohio State and Michigan and Texas, like from other big time schools. Like they're pulling kids from like Boston College and whatever, deep lower level FBC school or whatever. We'll see. Can Bill figure it out? Like, I don't think we expected him to get it done game one, year one, but it's going to be get your video feed right, man. I've set it this whole thing up. I don't know what the hell's going on. We're just going to keep moving on. Oh, JD said it's good now. I replugged it into a new port. Look, I got this like fancy connector thing here. I got wires coming out of every friggin' whatever. We're just moving on.
He's getting technical on his team.
I'm trying to. I don't know. I had this thing. I was going to go full Ethernet, because I was told like that'll make it better. I plugged it into this thing. I plugged it into this thing. All it did was beep at me. It didn't work. So I was like, well, we're just going to go plan B. And that, we started late.
I have one question about the UNC thing. Did he give his girlfriend money on the sideline? Like,
oh, I saw the clip. What is she doing there anyways?
I don't understand. Why is he on the sideline? Why is he talking to her during the game of all things? Like, what is happening?
Yeah, I don't get that at all. Why she's on the side, but I did see. I think that was like just somebody being comical when they were like, when she walked up and said, "Hey, Bill, I need $20 for the concession stand."
Well, I'm like, what? But still, like, as a coach who is supposed to be that good and that freaking serious about the game, you do not let your girlfriend, whoever, walk up to you in the middle of the game and ask you a question. Like,
honestly, that shouldn't be on Bill, though, right? Like, Bill's supposed to be focused on the game.
Right.
There's got to be some kind of, I don't know, not an athletic director. That's obviously way too big, but there's got to be some kind of crowd control or sideline control or something. Like, if you're not a player
on the field, though.
No, you can't do that. Like, if you're not a player or athletic trainer or some of the cameramen, you can't be down there. But you're
So
right.
I
I mean,
agree with you,
he
but
probably did say, "Hey, leave her alone. She can do what she
Mhm.
wants." But he probably found out real quick that she is willing to cross any line, and he's probably going to adjust that next week.
Yeah.
Like, hey, don't tell anybody that I told you, but don't let her down here this time. Tell her like athletic policy changed or something, but it's going to be
Braden,
his
shut
idea.
up. His quarterback and his girlfriend the same age. Oh, that's wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she's in her. I think she's like
Yeah.
mid. Yeah. Um, hey, don't tell me money can't buy you love.
No, there's no motion with no man's got motion. No, Braden. No.
No, all that's fine. Date who you want, all that kind of stuff. Don't care. That's not my cup of tea, but do what you want. But she can't be on the sideline. Like that's and
Yeah,
then she's just trying to have casual conversation. He's like, man, I'm trying to coach a game right now. He's talking about where are we going to eat after this? Like, are we going to cookout? Like, no, man, I'm trying to coach.
if you go out there and see some of the videos, some of the AI videos that were on Twitter, someone actually made a video of like her in like some nice dress, but made it look like she was out there on the field, like running people over. Just like worst case scenario, just put her in, Bill. Oh my, it was. I mean, the internet won on that one. But then before we had what was it? LSU Clemson, was that the Sunday night game? I don't remember the days, but it doesn't matter.
Nah, that was Miami Sunday night.
Oh,
Was
that's
Miami
right.
Notre Dame.
Yep. Okay, so we'll hit Miami Notre Dame, especially since Coach is on here. He'll, before he gets past his bedtime, he can put in the comments here on how he felt about Notre Dame. Miami looked like real deal. One, the drastic improvement on defense. They went out and spent a bunch of money on that side of the ball, and it worked. They also got a new DC. And I think the other big story was Carson Beck looked like 2023 Carson Beck, right? He looked like the guy who was going in last year for Georgia, who was potentially, top first round draft pick and, projected Heisman winner. Came back off injury and had energy in that in Miami and didn't have the best game, but played well enough to get a W. And his playmakers bailed him out, which is you need that to get a win. So I was impressed with Miami, how they turned that around. How'd y'all feel about both the way Notre Dame played and how Miami played?
I think it was a great game. Like, it was a fantastic game, right? Like I said, Beck looked good. Notre Dame looked good. They looked like kind of where they picked off or stopped last year, right? Like he's getting the program where he wants it to be. And I think Brady mentioned it. The one-handed catch was ridiculous. Like,
yeah, it should have been a pick.
It.
Should have been a pick. And if it was old school football, that dude would have been cut in half. That safety would have absolutely drilled him as he's coming up over the. I mean, absolutely would he would have been in the medical tent, no longer available for that game. But yeah, he threw it up there. Should have been a pick. The guy snagged it out of the air. Terrible conditions. Ball was wet. Still came down with the catch. Looked good. And I mean, the run game looked tight. But focusing on Notre Dame, Coach, you can jump in here and let us know what you thought. Yeah, if you were on X and you follow Coach Evans, old OC was getting an absolute earful, or I guess fingers full, on some of these tweets because Coach was not happy with some of the play calling. And I'd agree. There was it was questionable at best. The way they were trying to move the rock down the field. But ultimately, it just seemed like defensively they were outmatched and couldn't get an answer. And that environment didn't let out the entire time. I think that was massive too. Like Miami was full on back, and they were bought into this team. And Chris Paul gave them a reason to be. T, what do you think about Notre Dame?
I thought they looked like they had a new quarterback, which was interesting to me because you can probably get away with having a new quarterback because of who Jeremiah Love is, right?
Love is, yep.
Absolute stud running back. They weren't feeding him the rock the way they should have. And then the little bit they did, he had no chance to get loose. Miami was flying around. And to your point that they kind of look like the Miami of old. Because again, like early on, I mean, really throughout the whole season, but particularly early on, mistakes are going to happen. You're going to blow coverages and all that. But one thing that can't be lacking is effort. And it didn't look to me like Miami lacked effort on one play. I mean, they were flying around the whole time. So, particularly early on in the season, that can make up for a lot. I thought Notre Dame showed a lot of grit. That game wasn't over until it was over. And so even with a new quarterback, I thought he showed some toughness. I was fairly impressed with him as a new guy coming in. But I would think if I'm a Notre Dame fan, I got to see Love tote the rock more. And yeah, Coach Evans talked about it. 3 touches through 3 quarters. So he's got to touch the rock more. But I thought Miami looked impressive. I thought Carson Beck looked good. I'm not prepared to say he looks like a title guy or anything. Not necessarily that he did anything wrong. Like, again, bad passes are going to happen from time to time. But, like, to be a title guy, you have to be able to elevate your team. They didn't necessarily need him to elevate yet. So, because they were just kind of able to outplay Notre Dame, and then he had his receivers elevate him. So, I think still TBD on if Beck is going to be who they need him to be. And then, yeah, kind of like we were talking about with Prime in that Colorado game, Cristobal continues to have some clock management stuff as well.
Yeah, the way they went conservative towards the end of the game, they seemed to be able to move it down, and then they played not to lose, and it worked. It ended up working out. That kick for a second looked like it was pushing right and was going to miss. They kicked the field goal, and all in all, yes, Jeremiah Love, you got to feed him the rock. I mean, they were most successful, and they started actually using him in the pass game in the fourth quarter, and were moving it down. Able to move the stick some, but you go down and get a field goal, and then I'll harp on it again. The defense from last year would have 100% let another team go down and kick a field goal, and that game would have been in overtime. And they pinned their ears back, and they lit Carr up over and over again, and he had no time to get the ball down the field and the end of the game for him. So if that defense is going to continue to play well like that, I think they are a contender for sure. And then if you're a Notre Dame fan, you lost to Northern Illinois in one of the opening games last year, so like you're going to be fine. Like you'll still had a college playoff opportunity. This probably isn't going to be a terrible win if Miami continues to play this way. Or I'm sorry, it's not going to be a terrible loss if Miami continues to play this way. And then you move on, and you'll have other big games to play because that's what Notre Dame is.
Notre Dame will still make the playoff. Like college football won't let them not make the playoff. It's just they lose too much money if Notre Dame's not in there. That receiver from Miami, number 10, Tony.
Oh yeah, freshman,
he's
right?
Nice.
Wasn't he true freshman?
I think he's a freshman. Yeah,
yeah.
He may be the best freshman receiver I've seen probably since Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley really well, and Jeremiah Smith obviously.
Yeah,
but one of the best freshman receivers I've seen in a long time. We put it that way. Outside of Smith, I'm not ready to anoint Ryan Williams yet. Like I know he had a couple awesome games, but he's had a whole lot more struggle games than he has awesome games. So Jeremiah Smith, the truth is a freshman
out of Bama.
Yeah, the Bama kid. He could play obviously, but he's not. He and Jeremiah Smith are not the same. But this Tony kid is legit. So it'll be fun to kind of watch and see what else he's got going on and how he develops throughout the season. JD, that's what I was just saying. I think Ryan Williams is good, but Tony is potentially better. We'll see. But I wouldn't say Ryan Williams reminds me of like a Calvin Ridley type when Calvin Ridley was a freshman. Jeremiah Smith is dominant in that fashion.
Yeah, Tony just seemed to be able to do whatever he wanted to, wherever they lined
his
up.
His route running was great
until they started. Yeah, he could play inside out. He's just to be 18, maybe 19, doing that, very, very, very impressive. These receivers coming out of high school into college, man, it's like a seamless transition. There's so much talent now. They're developing a lot quicker. I think especially these kids coming from summertime climates all the time, and you're playing 7-on-7 ball like year round. I just think like you talk about route running, all that stuff is crisp and it transitions. And these skill position players are just I mean, they're different. Some of these guys are phenomenal at a young age, and then they got to sit there and play college ball for 3 years and just get better and better. You lose me?
You keep freezing.
Just for a second. You're good. You're good.
Oh, dang. All right. So then we got LSU Clemson, right? Oh man.
We're good. We're good.
You're gonna
power through.
Post that one on TikTok.
Did you hear my question? LSU Clemson. Talk about that game real quick. What do you think? All right. So Brian Kelly gets a opening W on the road. Tells them who the real Death Valley belongs to, and that's back in Baton Rouge. I think you could probably say most impressive win of the weekend. The way they traveled down there, did what they did, and I'm really upset at myself because I let y'all talk me into not picking LSU. I was weak-minded and didn't stick with my gut and say LSU is going to win this game. I said they're the best team in the SEC, and y'all daggone talked me out of it. But Cade Klubnik looked average, and Nussmeier looked like a fifth-year senior coming back who is projected to be one of the top quarterbacks in the draft. Looked composed, poised, and LSU do what they need to do. The defense also we can't talk about Miami's defense improving and not look at how LSU's defense improved. They also spent a bunch of money in the transport to shore that thing up. Kelly seemed to have changed his mindset of like, I'm not going to hit the portal. I don't believe in it, how they used it. And then this last offseason, he jumped in there and did what he had to do. And now LSU is, I think, even right now with Ohio State you could argue, best team in the country with the Nittany Lions not really playing anybody yet. But Selena, what do you think about that game? Clemson, LSU, and Dabo Swinney pooping the bed.
This is the new version.
Boys, the new version. Rando is struggling.
And it's later for both of us than it is for him. So like he's got no excuse.
I know, right? It's what, 8:00 over there right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 8:10. But listen, man, I had a full day of work. I had a second day of coaching these daggone kids. Oh my goodness, game week. I'm all stressed out. I got to get an opening W. I'm in it with you. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I thought it was a good game. And if I recall, we did not pick LSU to win because Brian Kelly usually first game of the season somehow messes it up. Like somehow, some way, first game of the season he messes it up. He did not this year. That was a really impressive win because Clemson's a really good team, to be fair. So that was impressive. And talent-wise, LSU has all the talent that you could want on a football team, I think, right? Like, I mean, that's there. They had the pieces. So I was impressed with the win.
Yeah, I'm definitely locking in my by them to win the SEC pick. I'm full in on that one. I didn't lean off of that last show, and I still think they are. What did he say? Rando is going all Mark Stoops somehow. Lights out.
Brady, we know how busy I am. Stop it.
But T, what did you think about the game? You think LSU's the real deal?
So we always knew they had talent, right? They are up there with the most talent in the country. I think that's been the case the last few years. Brian Kelly is the X factor on the negative side, as far as I'm concerned. And I still think that. I think they out talented Clemson because Clemson did not look good. Klubnik did not look good. Nussmeier did look good. Their receivers did look good per usual at LSU. I still just don't trust Brian Kelly. Like,
no, I agree.
Even with all he used to have all the talent up at Notre Dame, couldn't get it done. Coach Evans, tell me if I'm wrong. He's had all the talent at LSU for years and still hasn't been able to get it. Yeah, still can't get it done. So it's. I just need to see him prove it at this point. They're not lacking anything on the field. So I just got to see him prove it. But
Yeah.
when you got somebody like Nussmeier, that could be a game changer. So we'll see. But I don't trust Brian Kelly.
Coach Evans says Kelly's gonna blow it.
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't know about national championship, but I think he's got a team to win the SEC outright regular season. We'll see what happens when they get into the playoff. Maybe he does drop the ball again. He's always had talented teams. Can't close it off. Ohio State looks good this year. There's going to be a bunch of talent he has to get through. A lot of good teams. But Ryan Day couldn't get it done until he got it done. Right? We'll see. This might be the year. I do like LSU. But we'll wrap this up with what I'm calling the most impressive win of the weekend. I think just based off where they were last season, finishing dead last the ACC, Norvell was, hey, bud, you're like a hot second away from getting fired. Bama's coming to town. They got a bunch of talent. Everybody's on DeBoer thinking like, all right, this is going to be the year he figures it out. He did well last year, but this is like his year. He's got his culture set. And then they went down to Doak and got the absolute brakes beat off them. I mean, just embarrassed. You talk about Miami didn't lack effort any play. Bama didn't show up with effort.
Correct. They had no effort. Yeah, they looked very lackadaisical.
They walked in there thinking this was a team that lost to Georgia Tech last year, and we are going to show up, walk in their building, leave with a W. It's going to be easy. We'll figure it out. We'll start playing ball next week. And Costello, however you say his last name, he talked that junk and backed it up, man. He said, you ain't coming in my trap and getting a W. He just embarrassed them defensively. FSU looked good. And some of the cuts that you saw on the internet of just defenders gaffing it off, like things you would never saw in the Saban era. And DeBoer's got to figure out how to get this thing fixed quick, or he won't make it through the season without being on the hot seat. They'll get rid of his tail in a heartbeat. I know it's tough. He's got a lot of money. I don't think they're willing to deal with that in Alabama. I think they'll fundraise, pay that buyout, and find someone else if he can't turn around. If that's gonna be the brand of football they see every week, they won't tolerate it in Bama.
When Jordan Travis was there 2 years ago, he was slinging it a lot, right? Or was he dual threat?
He was a dual threat guy. He didn't have. He had a good arm, but he wasn't super accurate. He was a dual threat. That's why he ended up
breaking his. He broke. I thought he broke his leg.
It might have been. Yeah, it might have been one of those compound for like the Alex Smith fracture, something like that. But it was a bad injury, and that took him out. Which is why they missed the college football playoff, because they judged it off the roster.
And rightfully so. They would have lost without him. It was the right call. I understand the gripe that Florida State had with it, but they had a responsibility to try to make it as competitive as they could, and it wasn't going to be competitive.
Now I do think they still beat Louisville with their third string guy.
Yes, Braden. He retired.
No surprise there.
So this is what I mentioned last time. We saw 2 years ago what Florida State could do with a stud at quarterback. Obviously that was only one game, and so it's yet to be seen. But if they got a stud at quarterback, they can make some noise.
And he looked like the real deal. But I was not a Norvell believer, because he was similar to the Tom Brady, Bill Belichick that coach put up there. Like, Norvell couldn't win unless Jordan was the QB for them. But hey, if you got a guy, you got a guy. FSU looked. I thought it was impressive. Bama comes in there and you just completely embarrass them. And T, you said you were surprised the way the atmosphere that Doak had based off last year. FSU showed up against Bama. Their fan base was there, and now they got a reason similar to Miami to be like, hey, we'll keep coming back and keep supporting this team, because they could make a complete 180 turn and go from worst to first.
And it's better for college football, right? Like, there are certain teams that it's better for the sport when that team is relevant, and that is definitely the case with Florida State. I think Miami as well, but to a lesser degree. But Florida State is one of those ones. Like when they're relevant, that's just better for college football as a whole. So yeah, I
Yeah.
hope.
I mean, if you get Florida, if Florida's the real deal, like they're supposed to be, Miami's good, and Florida State is good. We're like living in the late '90s, like celebrating Y2K all over again. Like it's been a long time since all three of those teams have been great. And you're right, it is good for college ball. They all have great legacies in the sport. Yeah, we'll see. And those games will be exciting again, like the rivalry between FSU and Miami. That one's going to be exciting. And the Florida State-Florida game hopefully isn't so one-sided like it had been the last couple of years. So, yeah, that's good. But now we'll get into talk about our games. We'll start with Tennessee against Syracuse in Atlanta, right? The game was at the Mercedes Dome.
Benz.
Yeah. What'd you think about the game? And I'm going to actually put this up here. I thought it was funny because I'm going to give this guy a shout out on Twitter. Not a big name starting off. It looks like a Tennessee media guy.
I like that.
But he was talking about the game. Joey, he highlighted Joey on here. Let me hide this real quick. Said, can the Vols keep winning even without Nico at QB? What do you think? Because one QB looked good and one QB didn't.
So, well, I mean, you remember what I said about Nico? Like, I was looking forward to seeing what he could do this year with us, but I wasn't boohooing when he left, and it does not look like his game improved at all. So the little bit I was. Yeah, come on, Dad, you know better. But
I wish I was.
But
we thought the world was going to shut down. Remember, it was like you were celebrating. All of a sudden, it's like the media was
all the computers were going to have to
over.
reset and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Nico was making the exact same plays that he did last year. He was overthrowing people, throwing too hard when he didn't need to, all that kind of stuff. So whatever, like UCLA got him. Joey Aguilar could hit remember I said all he needed to do was just hit those open throws. Like that, you would expect any SEC quarterback to be, or Division II quarterback. My quarterback in college would have hit all those throws. So that's really all you have to do. It's not that hard to come in and outplay what Nico did last year. But I still think our bread and butter is going to be our run game. We got a three-headed monster with Star Thomas, who's a transfer from Duke, Deshaun Bishop, and Peyton Lewis. Peyton Lewis had a touchdown running straight through the Mike linebacker. It was great. Love to see it. And then I'm looking at the stats. Star Thomas, 12 carries, 92 yards. Deshaun Bishop, 11 carries, 82 yards. So three-headed monster, like I've been saying, I think like we had 2 years ago with Jabari Small, Jalen Wright, and Dylan Sampson. That's what I expect this year. And the good news, when you have a three-headed monster, the inevitable bumps and bruises that happen, maybe one of them has to miss a game or something. You still got two guys that you can lean on. So I love the depth that we have at running back. Love our tight end, Kitzeman, and I think the receivers and Joey are going to continue to work it. But there's a lot of talent and potential at the receiving position. So looking forward to seeing how that continues to develop. You kind of get some tune-up time against ETSU this weekend. So we'll see what happens there. Defense is a little bit of a concern. A lot of health issues. Our top two corners, at least on paper, are down. Although I'm all in on Colton Hood at corner for sure. So even if McCoy and Ricky Gibson and Colton Hood were all healthy, Hood has to be on the field as far as I'm concerned. So
the most ridiculous predictor.
1% is, hey, at least they give him a shot.
So you kind of segued into this game. Is this a trap game for Tennessee? You got Georgia coming to town next week.
No.
I don't know.
Brando, what are we doing?
The boys in Johnson City, Tennessee. The boys in Johnson City, Tennessee might be coming to play in Knoxville.
No,
I'm just saying. Don't let it be a trap game. All right. I don't even know. Look, I'm going to get to I got to troll a little bit. I'm going to get to the Tennessee or the Kentucky piece as well. Like, there's a line for the Kentucky Ole Miss game. This one, their sports books aren't even touching. It's like there's not a negative number big enough we could put on Tennessee.
Yeah, honestly, they shouldn't even get the 1%. I'm with Braden. He said ETSU having 1% is generous. He's correct. This is not a trap game.
No, yeah, it is not. But the Buccaneers, man, they're gonna have some spirit. They're gonna show up. And you're gonna get their.
I don't even remember when they turned football
probably
back on, because back in like 05 or 06, sometime around there, they got rid of their football program. So
when they turned it back on, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't just like UAB. I don't know when it came back, but yeah, not a trap game. We're good.
No, yeah, it'll be all right. But I brought that up. There's not much to talk about this one. But we will have a bunch to talk about next week. When Georgia.
Oh, it's been back for 10 years. They came back in 2015. So.
No, I'm just saying. Oh, you're talking about ETSU. What's the school? Off topic. I thought that this ETSU was close to where Lindsay's family is and where you out there in Maryville. I thought there's a school though out in that area.
There's Maryville College.
Tennessee State.
Tennessee State is.
I thought there was
Tennessee State is in Nashville. Maryville College is in Maryville, and then UT is in Knoxville. Carson Newman. Carson Newman is in Jefferson City, which is fairly close, and they were in my conference, so I used to play against them. And then Tusculum College is in Greenville, Tennessee. So, but Tusculum, that's closer out to the ETSU area. But Carson Newman is the only other one I can think of that you might have been thinking of.
Calzone.
All right. So we'll transition to Kentucky, Toledo. I think the all-UK ball team has some different perspective on how this goes. So normally we are simpatico. We've had our differences. I think the last difference we had was the NCAA tournament when I was like, hey, it's a big deal for Pope to win and at least get to the same spot. The other coaches like Cal and, BYU, where he just came from, like the boys are going to play for him harder so they can get to the Sweet 16 and at least match that. You and actually Braden, who's on here, is like, it's BS. They don't care. We had a disagreement. I think we're getting ready to have another disagreement because I look at this game and I don't see all the terrible that Selena sees. She was not impressed. Not impressed. And I have the text message to prove it. So I'll let you go first, Selena.
Was like, no, let her.
Let me know.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, she was going. So just, I guess, start off with what was the thing that bothered you the most with the red zone, your red zone problem? Because I look at it differently, but you tell me what it was that with the red zone issues that you think are kind of carrying over from last year.
Okay, so I know at your point you said, well, we have four downs to get to score. You're absolutely right. 1,000% we do.
Yeah, they give you 4. Might as well use them all.
1,000% we do. Last year, we had some of the worst red zone offense in the country. Okay, it was that bad.
Oh, yeah.
It was atrocious. And it really bothered me that we're in the red zone, okay, and it takes them, 3 or 4 downs to go like 2 yards? And get it, I am not poo-pooing Toledo. I'm not doing any of that. But if we are a new and improved O-line, they went and got all these dudes who have all these crazy combined starts. Yo, where is the pocket to move somebody 2 freaking yards? Where's the pocket? Aside from that, though, Bush Hamden.
Red zone defense was not composed last year, right?
Funny, man.
Bush Hamden not composed. All right, not at all last year, but it's a new year. All right, sorry, go ahead. I had to find that.
I don't like Bush Hamden's play calling. I don't like it at all. I know we agree on that. I know we agree on this.
Yeah, we'll see. So here's the thing. One, we got in the red. Now we should have been in the red zone more. I'll give you that. The offense didn't look great. You can blame that on Bush. Also blame it on turnovers. Like Willie would have had us in the red zone, had another chance to score if he doesn't fumble the ball. But we were there twice, and we scored 2 touchdowns. So, like, that you're 100% in the red zone. Now, if it took you 3 or 4 downs to get that, as you transition to SEC play, which is coming up this week, maybe you don't have the same luck. But the run game looked good. We averaged 5 yards a carry.
I love Dowdle.
I know you can say,
I love Dowdle. I love him. He's fantastic.
Love Dowdle. He needs to get more.
1,000%.
Needs to get more carries. But McGowan is also a stud. I wish he didn't seek contact as much as he does. Like he has wide open lanes and he chooses to like put his head down and just try to run somebody over. So I didn't mind the red zone offense so much, especially compared to last year. Like we actually at least got points and scored. I thought they looked a lot better there. Mainly because the O-line looked better. Like, again, I think Toledo's a good team. They're not an SEC team, so I'm not going to keep blowing this up. But that game, if that game compared to some of the lower school games, how we opened up against Eastern Michigan last year, like I know there were some misses on the offense, but that game and the score wasn't as high, and it was you can go back and look at the weather from the opening game a season ago. It just this team won. They looked more bought in from game one, and the offense just looked crisper from game one. Like there was some things that killed drives, turnovers. Again, I'll bring it up in a first game where you have a brand new quarterback and you're still trying to figure out who the guys are on your offense to give up reps like that by giving away possessions. That's really terrible. We threw for 85 yards. Stoops really trying to be the Iowa of the SEC.
Except you're not going to be able to run the ball good enough either. So that's not going to happen.
We'll see. We'll see.
I'm just going to say this. So I'm
Sam.
not saying the line's not improved. Y'all over there in comments yapping over here. I'm not saying that at all whatsoever. But I'm just saying if we do that against, as Brandon's point, against a proven SEC team, we might not score the ball. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that was my concern. Is that's game 1 of the season. I get it. We ran for 250 yards. I'm 1,000% aware of this. But it's the fact of the matter that if that was, I don't know, Georgia, who else? South Carolina, LSU. We might not Tennessee. You know what? I wasn't gonna give y'all credit. Hush. We might not have even got into the end zone in the first place. That's my concern. Like not the fact that it took us. We scored. Great. I'm happy we scored. But against SEC teams, are we going to actually get in the end zone? Or is Bush Ham going to keep all the same plays over and over again? We can't move the line when we need to move the line. That's my concern.
Yeah, and I don't want to sit here and all in sunshine pump and say it was all good. Those first two drives, I thought were very good. What is it, Rainer? See, this is. I don't know. We need to take shots like this. Like now, now this feels personal. Now this is hurting my feelings. I'm a sensitive individual, but no. So it wasn't. Because that has
Braden
the
is just as bad as you.
But
gosh, Braden is just as bad as you. I see it now.
But all right, so no. Here's the thing. I'm not saying it was all good because it certainly was not all good, not at all. But the first two drives, I was like, so again, now potential gets you fired. I've said that 100 times. Like showing me you have the potential to be great does nothing. Like actually go be great. Like go be a ball player. But at least showed me that it's there. Now, Calzada can't miss. Like, he's supposed to be a guy who all through camp, we were talking about how great of a deep ball he could throw, the connections with the wide receiver.
He overthrew so many times.
His mechanics weren't great. The balls weren't there. He had the one to Gilmore. What Gilmore should have tracked better. That should have been a completion in the end zone. So I don't think it's not great. But my hope is is that those were just, again, building blocks to get to Ole Miss. Hey, we're not going to throw everything out there on the offense because we got a big game coming up in a week. We don't have a lot of time to play, Louisville, for example. Like, we're not going to talk about them until they actually play like a college team. I love EKU, love them to death. And then they're playing who the hell knows this week, like 2 cupcakes before they actually start playing actual football. So, like, I think maybe Bush was a little conservative. That's what I'm hoping. And that, like, some of the deep shots that we took to Gilmore, the reverse, the jet sweep we gave to Gilmore, like, hopefully that's K-Law or J.J. Hester, like the guys who are more veteran plays. Hopefully we get J-Mac involved. Hopefully we continue to press and use the tight end because Willie showed that he's there. Even Josh Caddis showed that, like, he was the Josh Caddis from the 2 years ago. But we'll see. All in all, the offense, we have to hope it's going to be that way. Maybe coach is right, and we are the Iowa of the SEC. But the defense, talk to me about the defense, Lena. You can't tell me that was bad. The defense looked great.
Did I never said the defense was bad. I've literally been praising Afari in our text message thread the entire week. Don't throw that out there. Defense looked great.
I was opening the door for you to be like, okay, Selena doesn't hate Kentucky all the way.
No, Afari and Souls, right? Like, they were the two that absolutely, like, just wreaked havoc the entire game. Well, Afari had what? How many tackles was it? Or sacks? Like 4.5, 5, something like that by himself?
Who's that?
Afari.
Afari had 13 total, 9 solos, and 2 TFLs and a sack. And Souls had 2 sacks, but honestly was living in the backfield. Like, he only had 2 sacks, but he had a bunch of pressures, and he really affected the game. I mean, I would say arguably he's the reason why Afari had the tackle because he funneled everything to where Afari could just play free. But those 2 looked really, really good. Ty Bryant did well. JQ had the pick. Like, the defense looked really, really good.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm happy with the defense for sure. Brady are gonna fight later. It's fine. We're gonna fight. I'll get your up on you, Brandon. Don't you? I'll call Lando. But yeah, no, I was happy with the defense. I mean, but I feel like our defense is always really good. Like, White always has them playing really well, and we always have 1 or 2 that stand out every year that cause problems every year. So I'm really happy. Really happy.
Well, that'd be a beautiful tattoo if she did have that, Braden. that would be a good life decision.
Hey, Brandon, no way. You tattoo you have on your back?
Oh, okay. Yep. See.
Don't get me started.
We're getting personal. So, JD, thanks for bringing up Van because I was going to bring up Van. So he does. He puts out the best Kentucky content on Twitter. Like, he goes on from a quarterback perspective, breaks down the film, and you watch him. And I learn something all the time of how he breaks it down. And he was showing the hits and the misses, and he was talking about the defense. And I asked him, from what I saw, from my perspective, the 2 times that Toledo scored is when they went tempo. After a Kentucky score, they kind of increased pace, and then they scored a touchdown. And my worry was that's how Ole Miss plays pretty much all the time. Like, they want to play fast. They're not playing Tennessee fast, but they want to play. They want to play quick, especially after a big shot play. Right? They take a big shot play, they make a big chunk yards, and they want to roll back into it. So that worried me. The professional breaking down the film was like, "Don't worry. I watched it. We played some dudes that probably ain't going to be out there. Like, we were doing some personnel lineups and or some different packages. I don't think that's going to be a super concern. So also we were playing Toledo in the 4th quarter late. I think if we had our guys out there, it wouldn't be of such concern. So I was on the Round of Shots on Sunday, and they were like, "What's one bad from a defense?" I was like, "Defense concerns me if they are going to play that way against Ole Miss, because Ole Miss will be able to walk the ball down the field and won't be able to stop them." Van put me at rest and was like, "Hey, I think we're going to be all right once our guys are in there playing." So hopefully he's right, because that did concern me from a defense perspective. And hopefully it was just game's winding down. We got this one in the bag, even though we really didn't. Like, it was way too close. We couldn't close out the game. Would have liked to seen some 5-minute offense and keep the ball until the clock hit 0. We didn't, but we got a W. And a win's a win. I don't care who we're playing.
All that matters. Win's a win.
Get the confidence going, and we did. Don't me. All right, a win's a win. You got your win against Syracuse. You had a big win.
It's not though. I'm not even talking about us, but like, not that playoff conversation. This is not even a shot. Not that playoff conversation is going to really be floating around Kentucky football. But like, a win is not necessarily a win. Like, they take into account style points and all that kind of stuff. So
I'm just saying, like, from a morale perspective, right? Like, the new team got in there, we got a W. The blue collar mentality, like, we got it, we're good. The boys are feeling good about themselves. All right, so now we got Ole Miss. All right, I predicted we were going to lose this one in my 8-4 prediction. So I'm hoping I'm wrong, and my prediction should have been 9-3, and we get a home W. T, I'll start with you as we close out. I don't think you know a lot about Ole Miss. I'm not sure. You may or may not. But at the end of the day, do you see Kentucky winning this game? Give me as much of a non-biased perspective as you think you can. As Ole Miss,
I'm not very biased against Kentucky football. Just to be clear, like, I like to give you a hard time, but I got no beef with Kentucky football. There's not been enough there for me to hate y'all.
All right, so you didn't need that. You didn't have to add that.
I'm just qualifying while I'm telling you the truth. No, I mean, I don't remember where I heard it, but I heard it somewhere today. They're like, oh, it was on Hammers. They were doing their betting lines, and they were betting that Ole Miss was going to win, but not because Kiffin feels like it's a revenge game. I do think he thinks it's a revenge game because, they just barely missed the playoffs, and then he wanted, probably y'all and I think the Florida game are the two in particular that they probably hone in on for why they didn't make the playoffs. So no pun intended, but they're probably going in there pretty motivated. So and then he's fairly dynamic on offense per usual. So you guys feel good about your defense. So you'll see strength on strength, I would think. His dynamic high flare offense and versus defense that y'all think is pretty solid. But I lean towards Ole Miss.
Selena, what do you think? You give us any chance?
I mean, for some reason, Stoops always plays Kiffin close. I don't know why, but he always does, right? Always, it seems like. I do feel like Kiffin has a big score to settle, like Seaman from last year, because to be fair, that did ruin their playoff chances. Like 100% it did. And I feel like that has been, because he talked about it the entire season last year, no matter what. Like, it was always brought up, right? It was always brought up. I feel like that has been like his big driving like motivator right now. So I don't know. I don't know. I want to say no, but I'm also like, maybe, right? Maybe, because Stoops always plays him close. So I don't know what it is about it, but I don't know. It's a toss up.
Yeah, it's kind of like Beamer. Beamer has seemed to have Stoops' number. Stoops just his team seemed to get up and play against Ole Miss. I mean, if Will Levis doesn't snap the ball early, throw that ball to Dane Key, and they don't call that penalty, Dane Key caught that touchdown. I think we've won 4 straight games against Ole Miss, or at least 3 straight if he doesn't do that. So, yeah, we'll see. He doesn't have Jackson Dart anymore. Brand new quarterback. Quarterback's 19 years old, and they've been making it out to be like he's 19. Already has his bachelor's degree. He's got in interdisciplinary studies or something like that, like some basic. So he ain't some whiz kid. I mean, sure, awesome, great time management on you for getting your bachelor's degree while you're in, damn near a senior in high school. But we're not talking about he's some Ivy League quarterback, big brain, whatever. So I don't know. We'll have to see. He did throw 2 picks in the game last week. and they play DeVry University. So
Mhm.
like he has the ability to make some mistakes, and if we can pressure him and make him feel uncomfortable, he's a young kid. I think we got a shot. I do agree. I think Ole Miss. This one's been circled for Kiffin.
Yep.
As soon as the season calendar dropped. So I'm going to stick with my prediction, and I think Ole Miss wins this game. That's what my gut tells me. By the time kickoff happens, though, I will have changed my mind, and we'll be Kentucky is going to go 2-0. I am going to book it right now. Kentucky covers. So if it stays at 9.5, I still feel okay with it. I think it opened up at 10. We'll see how the line moves. Between 9.5 and 10, I think Kentucky covers regardless. So
my gut,
I appreciate you, Brady. Brady was the only one that got my joke here.
I know.
I said DeVry University. Y'all just didn't even laugh. I was like, I thought that was a good line.
I was
Brady
listening.
got me. I appreciate you, dog.
So for some reason, my gut right now is saying we might win this game.
Oh my gosh, y'all have been reading Braden's comments.
There we go.
Y'all been reading Braden's comments too much. Braden.
No, listen. I talk to Braden all the time. I am not reading his comments. I promise.
He didn't got to y'all be over there being a homer in the comments.
For some reason, Stoops always always plays him close. Doesn't matter if we're home. Doesn't matter if we're at Ole Miss. It doesn't matter.
Flip it. Selena says we're going to win this game.
I did say we're going to win.
Selena guarantees a victory.
Book it. Open that juju out there because we lose. And we're like, hey.
Yeah, Randall will talk himself into y'all winning every week. I promise you that. Every week he will talk himself into the fact that y'all are going to win.
But I don't know. I just
100%.
I do think though, if they do win, the fan base buy-in is much better because the attendance was not great for a home opener. To be fair, so.
Well, on that note, Coach Evans says BBN is what we are, right? We're going to believe we're going to win. That's what we do, right? And we might be delusional, maybe. Might be irrational. Might be like rabid at some point.
100%, always.
But we're the best dang fan base in all of college sports.
Sorry, T.
T, tell me I'm
wrong. 100% wrong.
We are not.
Boom! Not even close. Not even close.
Number one, and there's a big gap between whoever's number two. Y'all can argue about who it is. But, all right, well, we're coming up on an hour. We got the happy hour show on Saturday. Hopefully, if the boys need a rally, we're going to maybe jump on and do like a fourth quarter live or something like that. We'll see how that goes. We're going to jump in right after the game, do a little recap, and enjoy a cocktail or 20. As always, go Cavs!